Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Joey. UFC 263 is this Saturday night, and I'm so excited for this card. It's stacked from top to bottom. This is going to be my prediction video for the co-main event, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno 2. I've already done a prediction video for Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards. The link will be in the description, and I'll be putting out a prediction for the main event, Adesanya versus Vettori, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure you turn on notifications. That'll be out soon. But this is going to be my video for Figueiredo versus Moreno 2. And I am so excited for this co-main event. I mean, their fight last December was one of the best fights of the year. And it was very, very close. I think some people act like it was a little bit closer than it really was. I believe, when you watch that fight, and I recently watched it back in preparation for doing this prediction video, without that point taken in the third round, I believe it was, I think Figueiredo would have got the decision. I think Figueiredo took the first round. Second round was 50-50. Third round was Figueiredo. Fourth round was clearly Moreno. And fifth round was clearly Figueiredo, in my opinion. Some people might have different opinions than me. But the only round that Moreno truly got, in my point of view, was round 4, where he hurt Figueiredo, landed a lot of power strikes in that round. But this is just such a great matchup. I mean, most people, myself included, I thought Figueiredo would run him over in that first fight. And that's not what happened at all. I mean, Figueiredo came out in that first round. It was throwing some nasty power shots, power kicks to the body. I think he opened the fight with a spinning back kick to the body and landed it. Was just crazy, just pressing forward. And Moreno was able to absorb the shots and able to fire back multiple times. But this fight, and I'll just give you my prediction right now, I'm going to go Deiveson Figueiredo, third round TKO. I just think he's just so powerful and he's so big for the flyweight weight class. And I think, in the last fight, it came out after the fact that he was in the hospital the day before, I believe, or like 2 days before. He had food poisoning. He was sick. He wasn't in his peak condition. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, that's an excuse, blah, blah, blah. But everyone is saying it happened. So, I'm just going to take their word for it that it happened. And regardless, he's making an excuse. It was a draw. I think he's going to come out better in this rematch. And in that first fight, I mean, Deiveson is just an absolute maniac. I'll never forget what he did to Joseph Benavidez both times. That second time where he just knocked him down and then strangled him dead was just brutal. I mean, Joseph Benavidez is a legit flyweight fighter. I know he's getting a little bit older, but that performance to steal the flyweight belt and then, going on to beat Alex Perez as easily as he did, then to go on to fight Brandon Moreno in a fight of the year and, really be able to absorb some damage and face some adversity and survive, and then also going 5 rounds. He was a little bit tired, and I think Brandon Moreno definitely does have the stamina advantage. Brandon Moreno looked pretty fresh even after 5 rounds. Obviously not from wear and tear, but stamina-wise, where Figueiredo looked a little more tired. I think if Moreno wants to win this fight, I really believe that it has to be, a long fight going to decision, because something really stood out to me about this fight. It kind of reminded me in a weird way of Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. And it's it's not super often that you can pick something out like this where you see two guys fighting and the power discrepancy is clearly apparent. And in this fight, I believe it was, and I think it's because of the size difference. Figueiredo was just fighting like he was playing a video game. He was just walking Moreno down, hands by his side, just absorbing any strikes that, Moreno threw his way. And I knew that wasn't the same as Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, but in that fight, Max was landing significant shots, but it just wasn't having the same impact that Poirier was landing. And in this fight, it was the same case. Deiveson was landing some nasty shots, and it was whipping Moreno's head back. It was doing serious damage where Moreno was landing good shots, but it just seemed like Figueiredo could just absorb them and eat them, no problem. In that fourth round, it was a little bit different. He was able to hurt Figueiredo, but again, Figueiredo's tired at this point, and he landed like a good combination to rock him. And I really do believe that Moreno has a legitimate chance to win this fight, but I really think it has to be by decision. But the way Figueroa fights, and I love this style of fighting. It's super exciting, but it always makes me a little bit nervous for that guy. And the way Figueroa fights, he fights super dangerously, hands down by his side. He's bound to get caught on the chin eventually. And I don't know if Moreno has the power to put him out. But if he does, I would not be shocked if that happened, because Figueroa leaves his chin exposed. And, that's never a good idea. In that first fight, and I think the key to beating Figueroa, his last loss was the Juicier Formiga. But I really think the key to beating Figueroa is to take him down and hold him down. And the grappling was kind of even in the first fight. I would give the edge to Brandon Moreno. He was able to take Figueroa down multiple times. And that was great, but he was never really able to hold him down, for any substantial amount of time. He was never able to get off any damage. The second he got taken down, it was almost because Figueroa was kind of being too overconfident and walking right into it. He was being super aggressive in that fight. And Moreno took him down and took advantage of it multiple times. That may have even won him the second round. Um, but I think that's the key to beating Figueroa, is taking him down and holding him down. So I would like to see Brandon Moreno try to do that, but I just don't know how successful he's going to be, because Figueroa cuts a lot of weight, and he is clearly the bigger guy. And it's just, when you have a guy and you're at a size disadvantage, it's much harder to hold them down, when they're especially guys explosive as Figueroa. He just explodes back to his feet. The second he gets taken down, he gets the feet on the hips, explodes up. Really wasn't down for any significant amount of time. I think the most he was down was in the fifth round, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Um, but Moreno is such a great fighter, and he's so tough. He was one of the very few guys that could absorb damage from Figueroa. I'm talking about Figueroa absorbing his damage. It wasn't as, clean. Moreno's head was snapping back a little bit, and he looked like he was hurt a couple times, not significantly rocked or anything like that. But the fact that he was tough and able to absorb some of Figueroa's biggest shots was shocking to me. And that really could be, a key in this fight, because Figueroa is not used to meeting very much resistance. And in that first fight he did, Moreno is just so tough and durable, has a great gas tank. He also has great movement too. In that first fight, he was using his movement. He was not standing stationary waiting for Figueroa to unload on him. He was circling around the cage, throwing a great jab. And I would not be surprised if Moreno won this fight, to be honest. I'm picking Figueroa. I think Figueroa will win, and I think he will finish him. I believe most of Figueroa's wins will be coming by finish. He's just so strong. He has so many power shots. And I just think he'll eventually get that finish on Moreno. I think it'll be a competitive fight, just like the first one. But I think this time Figueroa will find that finishing shot, whether it's a shot to the body, a shot to the jaw. I just believe Figueroa is going to be better this fight. He's not coming in slightly compromised. He's not going to be, potentially slowed down from, being sick and throwing up the day before. And I just think eventually he's going to find that finishing shot, and that's why I believe third round TKO. But if Brandon Moreno wins, like if hypothetically, if you told me Brandon Moreno wins, how do you think he won? I would say Brandon Moreno by decision. Maybe Brandon Moreno comes in, he uses movement a little bit more, he gets out of the way of Deiveson's shots. He takes him down here and there, even if he's not really able to hold him down for any substantial period of time. He uses his stamina advantage, because I believe 100% he has the stamina advantage. It was nice to see Figueroa go 5 rounds, though. That's for sure. I love this fight, and it's hard to believe that the UFC considered closing down the flyweight division. Look how many great fighters there are in the flyweight division. You have Alex Perez, you have Askar Askarov, Deiveson Figueiredo as champion. Just so many different great fighters in the flyweight division. Meanwhile, they got the women's featherweight division that doesn't even exist, and they were thinking about closing down the flyweight division. I'm just kind of sad that we never got to see Mighty Mouse versus Figueiredo, but it is what it is. Moreno is so tough, so durable, and I just really, I just hope for a good fight with this one. I'm not really rooting for either guy. I like both guys, but it wouldn't kill me to see either guy lose. I wouldn't mind, Moreno getting a win, and maybe we see in the trilogy. I don't know if that would happen or not. I think clearly Figueroa would have got the decision if it wasn't for there was that groin strike in the third round where the referee took the point away, and then it kind of I knew as after that happened, I said this fight's going to end up being a draw. I just knew it was going to happen, and I'm so happy that we got a draw, honestly, because after that fight, regardless, I wanted to see it again because it's crazy how, and also I wonder if we're suffering from this. But when you see a fighter like Figueroa and you see how dominant he is and you see how, explosive he is, and you bring a guy like Brandon Moreno in and a lot of people think he's going to lose, and then he's able to compete at a high level and, win some rounds. It makes the fight, seem way more close and way more exciting than, it really actually is. But I think this was a great fight regardless. But it just added to the factor that everyone was counting Moreno out, and he came in there, he absorbed damage, he landed some of his own shots, and he almost put Figueroa away. It wasn't super close, but in that fourth round, he had hurt him pretty badly, and maybe in another fight, maybe he's gonna make some adjustments, be able to find Figueroa's chin, put him down. Man, Figueroa just walked through so many shots in that first fight. I just find it hard to see that path to victory for Moreno. I really think it's going to be a grapple. I think anybody who beats Figueroa, it's going to be grappling wise, and that's why I'm predicting Deiveson to win this fight. And the next fight I would say it would be against Askar Askarov. And that's going to be a super tough fight for Figueroa, and that's going to be a super interesting fight because we know what Askar Askarov is going to come in and try to do to Deiveson. But I just don't think Moreno can do that. I think he'll be able to get a couple takedowns. I think the fight will be competitive, but I think eventually Figueroa will find that body, find that jaw, and put him away. I think this is going to be a great card. I think it's going to be filled with finishes. I'm super excited for UFC 263, as you can tell. I'm happy to do these prediction videos. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you like the video if you enjoy it. I really appreciate it, helping the channel grow. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of June, so you're going to help me with that. Let me know in the comments who you guys are picking in this fight. Again, I'm going with Deiveson, third round TKO. Think it's going to be competitive up until the point that Figueroa finishes him. I think he's going to, catch him with maybe a body shot or a head kick. Figueroa just has so many weapons. I mean, leg kicks, body kicks. He just mixes it up so well, hooks, overhand rights. He has an amazing jab, and Moreno has a great jab too. So I really could see Moreno land at any of those, so many different shots that he perpetually throws. He's not a guy that's just throwing, 1-2 all fight, or he doesn't really incorporate kicks too much. So I just really can't nail down anything specific of how he's going to finish him. I think he's going to catch him with a shot, put him down, ground and pound and finish him. I could even see him maybe grabbing a submission after Moreno's hurt. Because after seeing how tough Moreno is, I just don't see, but maybe it will happen. I just don't see Moreno. I don't see Moreno going out cold. He just seems so durable. He moves with punches so well, which I think is also key for him being super durable. He's not eating anything, super flush without any head movement. He kind of rolls with the punches very well. But I can't wait for this fight. For me, I think this is my most anticipated fight on the card. The first fight was just so good. I mean, I'm so happy it was a draw. We're going to get to see the rematch. Who knows where we go from here after this? I can't wait for UFC 263. Do me a favor, check out my other UFC 263 prediction videos. I'll have the link in the description. Some of them might not be out yet by the time you watch this video. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.